Welcome to the Visa Bulletin Update 2025. In this video, we'll quickly break down the updates from January all the way to September. Stay with us till the end because the September update is something you won't want to miss.
I want to answer one of the questions we get all the time. How can I reuse my old priority date for the EB1A, and is it even useful? So we'll break it down using the latest January Visa Bulletin for 2025 as example. Alright, so if you are new to the green card process, here is a quick refresher. A priority date is essentially your place in the line for a green card. It is the date when your EB1A application's Form I-140 was filed and accepted by USCIS. Priority date actually helps decide when you can apply for adjustment of status to get an immigrant visa, and if you have an approved EB2 or EB3 petition, reusing your priority date for an EB1A green card application could sometimes be a smart way to fast track your green card process overall. Now, are you wondering where you can find your priority date? It's usually on your Form I-797, which is the notice of action, and that's the paper USCIS sends you when they accept your I-140. It's often called also the receipt notice. Now, here's why we are all about reusing priority dates. For some countries, especially like India and China, there are huge backlogs for EB2 and EB3 categories. So if you reuse a priority date from one of those backed up categories for your EB1A, you might be able to jump the line and speed up your green card process by several years.
Wondering how long it takes to get your green card? What's the difference between USCIS processing times and green card wait time? Let's break it down in the simplest way possible using the February 2025 Visa Bulletin. First, let's get one thing clear. The processing time and the wait times are not the same thing. The processing time is about how fast USCIS handles your case, while the wait times are about when your priority date becomes current, so a visa is available for you. Both of them matters, but they are very different. So, the processing time. This is all about the forms you submit to the USCIS. For example, Form I-485, your adjustment to status application, it is the time USCIS takes to process it, and it can vary depending on which service center is handling your case. Here's how to check your processing time. Visit the USCIS processing time page, select your form like I-485 and choose the service center. Check the time range, for example 8 to 18 months. Let's talk about the green card wait times. The part of green card application process where you wait for your priority date to become current. Once it does, you can move on to the next step, like filing for adjustment of status, Form I-485, or attending a visa interview. It's like waiting in a long queue, but understanding this step is the key to knowing when you can proceed. So what factors affect these wait times? Your country. If you're from a country with high demand like India, you might be in for a longer wait time. Your green card category. The specific visa category you fall under, like EB1, EB2, etc., impacts how quickly you can move forward. Visa availability. There's a cap on the number of visas issued each year, and that can slow things down too. These wait times are tracked through the Visa Bulletin, which is updated monthly by the US Department of State. The bulletin shows the cutoff date for each green card category and country. This is the key to understanding how long you will have to wait.
Waiting for your green card can feel like an endless game of patience, right? But what if there's a way to speed things up? Fewer backlogs, faster processing, and more visas available? Well, immigration reforms might just hold the key. So, are you curious about what this could mean for you? Then stick around with me because this video is definitely for you. Now, let's start with the basics. What is the Visa Bulletin? It's basically a monthly update from the US Department of State that tells green card applicants your place in the line depends on your visa category, country of origin, and priority date. And priority date is just the date that your case was filed. But here's the tricky part. There's not enough green cards to go around because there's a yearly cap on how many can be issued. And on top of that, each country only gets 7% of the total green cards per year. This creates a massive backlog for countries like India and China, where demand is extremely high. For example, in the March 2025 Visa Bulletin, it shows that EB2 for India has moved forward by 6 weeks to December 1st, 2012, while EB3 has advanced by 6 weeks to February 1st, 2030. And this means that people in these categories could be waiting for decades before they finally receive their green cards. I know these updates might feel frustrating, but here's where immigration reforms could bring some real change. Increasing the visa numbers could directly reduce backlogs, or recapturing unused visas from previous years could make thousands of extra green cards available. And removing per country cap should significantly help high demand countries like India and China, which currently face some of the longest wait times. The April 2025 Visa Bulletin is finally here, and while there have been some progress for the EB1, the EB2 and the EB3 categories for India, the biggest shocker is the EB5 India retrogression, over 2 years behind. Yes, that's right, 2 years backward. So if you're waiting for your priority date to become current, you're probably wondering, why is this even happening and what can you even do now? And what's next for the employment-based categories? Now, the EB1 final action date for India has moved forward by 2 weeks to February 15th of 2022. While it's better than no movement, it is still disappointingly slow. So many applicants were hoping for bigger jumps, especially since the EB1 remained stagnant for most of the fiscal year 2025. But the good news here is that EB1 remains still the fastest green card route for Indian applicants. Now, while the backlog is frustrating, the wait time is still far shorter than if you go for the EB2 or the EB3, or maybe you're already waiting on the EB2 or the EB3 for that long. So if visa spillovers happen, which they have happened in the past, we might also see better movement in the coming months in the EB1 category as well. EB2 for India, though, advanced by 1 month to January 1st of 2013. The movement is relatively minimal, but at least it's something. The slow progress is due to high demand and per country caps, and unless major policy changes happen, like for example removing country limits or increasing visa quotas, this trend will likely continue for the near future. Meanwhile, EB3 India moved by about 2 months to April 1st of 2013. While this is slightly faster than the EB2, the backlog is still significant, over 10 years on paper. So if your priority date is approaching, start preparing your I-485 documents now so that you can file immediately once you are eligible. If your EB2 or EB3 priority date is still far off, that's when you can consider exploring the EB1A as an alternative if you qualify or not. It could help you fast track your entire green card process at the end of the day. The US Department of State has just released the May 2025 Visa Bulletin, and there are some important updates for employment-based green card categories. Firstly, the bad news. EB5 unreserved for India has retrogressed again. But what about the other categories though, like the EB1, EB2 or the EB3? So let's dive straight in. Okay, so what are the key takeaways from the May 2025 Visa Bulletin? First of all, the EB1 final action date for India, no movement. It is still stuck at February 15th of 2022. The EB2 final action date for India, that's no change here either. It remains at January 1st of 2013. And EB3 final action date for India, a small movement is noted for just about 2 weeks, and it is now on April 15th of 2013. There's also EB5 unreserved for India, and unfortunately that is the category that's retrogressed by 6 months to about May 1st of 2019. Now, one important note here is that for employment-based categories, you should only use the final action dates chart in this bulletin. This means that if your priority date is on or before the listed final action date of your category, you can file your I-485 petition this month. The June 2025 Visa Bulletin is here, and for most Indian professionals, the green card wait is dragging on for over 10 years now. But what if I told you that there's a way to skip the line and get your green card faster? Let's take a look at the key updates for the Indian green card applicants in the June 2025 Visa Bulletin. First of all, the EB1 final action date for India is still stuck at February 15th of 2022. No forward movement, but if you qualify, it is still your fastest shot at a green card if you already have a priority date from EB2 or EB3 that is prior to 2022. EB2 final action date for India, though, there is no movement there as well, still stuck on January 1st of 2013. Filing date is February 1st, 2013, and that's over 10 years of waiting on paper. Brutal, especially for tech folks who have been waiting in line for a long time already. The July 2025 Visa Bulletin is out, and for most Indian professionals, the green card wait is stretching past 10 long years. But what if I told you that there is a way to skip the line and get your green card at the July 2025 Visa Bulletin? Now, the update isn't the most encouraging for most Indian applicants, but don't really lose hope. There is still one green card pathway that offers a real shot at success, and we'll talk more about how you can make the most out of it. Now, let's take a look at the key updates for Indian green card applicants in the June 2025 Visa Bulletin. First of all, EB1 priority dates or final action dates for India still remain stuck at February 15th, 2022. No forward movements, but if you still qualify, it is still your fastest shot at a green card if you already have a priority date, which most people do have a priority date prior to 2022. The EB2 final action date for India, well, there is no movement in that as well. It is still stuck at January 1st of 2013. Filing date is February 1st of 2013, and that's over a decade of waiting on paper, and in reality, it might be way more than that. Especially tough for tech professionals who have been waiting forever and working super hard in their careers and growing in their careers, but not in their immigration journey. EB3 final action dates for India, though, there is a slight change. The final action date, which moved from April 15th of 2013 to April 22nd of 2013. Filing date remains the same at June 8th of 2013. For EB5 final action date for India, for unreserved applications, it is still stuck on May 1st, 2019, and that backlog heavily remains due to high demand and a limited number of visas issued every single year. There is some hope in the reserved category though, and for that you will need to have $800,000 of investment in the US, which most people do not really have.
The August 2025 Visa Bulletin is out, so what's the real deal this month? Are there any retrogression for EB2 or EB3 India? Well, it's a bit of a mixed bag. There is some good news and some not so great updates. Let me walk you through it really quick and easy. Let's break down the August 2025 Visa Bulletin. So what's really going on with EB1, EB2 and EB3, especially for India? Here we go. So firstly, EB1 India, no changes at all. The final action date remains on February 15th, 2022. That said, the EB1A still has much shorter wait times objectively compared to all the other categories out there. If you're eligible, it's definitely worth exploring. And secondly, there's EB2 India, which is still stuck. The date remains on January 1st of 2013. There's no movement again this month. EB3 India has some movement. The final action date has moved ahead by 1 month to May 22nd, 2013. That sounds a little bit of like a good news, right? Well, not so fast. Here's what USCIS just said. Due to the high demand and a limited number of visas available, retrogression and unavailability of EB3 visas is likely in September 2025 or earlier. So in simple words, the demand for EB3 is so high that we are about to hit the yearly visa cap early. If things keep looking like this, USCIS might push the dates backward, which is also known as retrogression, or even mark EB3 as unavailable, which means no more green cards in that category for the rest of the fiscal year. So yeah, while August looks okay, it might be the calm before the storm right now.
The September Visa Bulletin 2025 is here, and the first thing all of us wants to know is, did India get hit with any retrogression this time? But there is also a twist about visa numbers this year. Let's talk about it. Let's start with EB1 India. It's still stuck at 15th Feb 2022, no movement. Yeah, we have all been waiting for it to move, but in this entire fiscal year 2025, it's barely gone anywhere. The only thing keeping us hopeful is that EB1 still has the shortest wait time compared to EB2 and EB3. Next, EB2 India, still at 1st Jan 2013, no movement. EB3 India, same story. 22nd May 2013, no movement here either. But honestly, that's still a relief for us.
2025 Visa Bulletin brings a mix of small wins and big disappointments. The EB2 and EB3 dates are crawling ahead, while the EB5 has taken a huge hit. Now, if you are affected by these delays, now is the time to reassess your strategy and explore alternative options. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. We keep posting daily videos on this channel, free resources that you can pursue in your immigration journey. So until next time, stay focused, stay driven, and keep working towards your American dream. This is Simon Shetty signing off. Peace.